There's a pattern in history, a terrifying, predictable pattern that has toppled three major governments in the last 250 years. And right now, in 2025, the United States is following that same pattern, stage by stage, grievance by grievance, almost like it's reading from a script written in blood and chaos. In 1789, France was the most powerful nation in Europe. Within 5 years, the monarchy collapsed. The king was beheaded. 40,000 people were executed. In 1917, Russia was a vast empire under the Tsar. Within 8 months, the entire regime evaporated. A civil war killed 10 million people. In 1959, Cuba was a prosperous Caribbean nation. Within 2 years, Fidel Castro overthrew the government and built a communist dictatorship that lasted 60 years. 3 revolutions, 3 collapses, 1 pattern. And the elites in every case thought they were untouchable. They weren't. Part 1. What actually causes revolutions? Revolutions don't happen because people are poor. They happen when expectations exceed reality, when people believe they deserve better, when the gap between elites and everyone else becomes offensive, when people stop believing the system can fix itself. As John F. Kennedy warned, those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. And history proves it, every time. France, Russia, Cuba. Different centuries, same 6-stage sequence. Part 2. France, the origin of the 6 stages. Stage 1. Extreme wealth inequality. 1789, France's 27 million people were split into 3 estates. Clergy, 10% of land, paid 0 taxes. Nobility, 25% of land, paid almost 0 taxes. Everyone else, 98.5% of the population, paid everything. Bread made up 88% of a peasant's budget. One bad harvest and millions couldn't eat. Meanwhile, the aristocrats feasted. Stage 2. Corruption and incompetence. King Louis XVI wasn't evil. He was weak. Bankrupt nation, he raised taxes on peasants instead of elites. Corruption froze every reform. Stage 3. Middle class radicalized. Lawyers, merchants, the educated class, the people who should have supported the system, turned against it. They formed the National Assembly, declared the king illegitimate, and the revolution ignited. Stage 4. Collapse of faith in institutions. People stopped believing the monarchy, the courts, or the church could fix anything. Once institutional legitimacy dies, revolution becomes unavoidable. Stage 5. Revolutionary movement rises. Robespierre and the Jacobins promised justice. People wanted bread and revenge. They followed the radicals. Stage 6. Government falls, then chaos begins. The king was executed. Then came the Reign of Terror. 40,000 executed. France collapsed into dictatorship, not from monarchy, but from revolution. Napoleon rose from the ashes. Part 4. Russia, the pattern repeats. Stage 1. Extreme inequality. Tsar and nobles owned everything. Peasants and factory workers owned nothing. Stage 2. Incompetence. Nicholas II mishandled everything. Bloody Sunday, World War I, Rasputin, famine. Stage 3. Middle class and military turn. Once the army refused to defend the Tsar, the regime was finished. Stage 4. Loss of faith. The provisional government that replaced the Tsar kept Russia in World War I, the final straw. Stage 5. A revolutionary movement gains mass support. Lenin promised peace, land, bread. The Bolsheviks seized power in 24 hours. Stage 6. Government falls, then civil war. 10 million died. The Tsar and his family were executed. Stalin rose, killing 20 million more. Revolution replaced oppression with worse oppression. Part 5. Cuba, the modern example. Stage 1. Inequality. Havana elites and American corporations controlled wealth. The rural poor had nothing. Stage 2. Corruption. Batista ruled through bribery, torture, and American mob money. Stage 3. Middle class radicalized. Fidel Castro, a lawyer, becomes the face of rebellion. Stage 4. Loss of faith. Brutality turns citizens against Batista. The U.S. withdraws support. His regime crumbles. Stage 5. Revolutionary movement gains strength. By 1958, Castro had mass support and a collapsing army. Stage 6. Government falls, then new dictatorship. Castro promises freedom. He delivers executions, censorship, and 60 years of dictatorship. The pattern completes again. Part 5. The U.S. in 2025. Where are we now? Here's the alarming part. America is already in Stage 4. Stage 1. Extreme wealth inequality. Confirmed. Over 20 million people are food insecure. Top 1% controls 32% of wealth. 0.1% owns more than the bottom 90%. Housing, healthcare, education, unaffordable. Billionaires flaunt excess while millions work 2 to 3 jobs. Stage 2. Corruption and incompetence. Confirmed. Congress approval 15%. Supreme Court trust collapsing. Half the nation believes elections are rigged. Lobbyists write laws. Insider trading by politicians. $36 trillion national debt. Infrastructure crumbling. Stage 3. Middle class destroyed and radicalized. Confirmed. College debt crisis. Stagnant wages. Tech layoffs. AI replacing jobs. Millennials and Gen Z losing faith in the American dream. A radicalized, angry middle class is the strongest predictor of revolution. Stage 4. Loss of faith in institutions. We are here. Democrats don't trust the Supreme Court. Republicans don't trust the election system. Nobody trusts Congress. Police, media, universities. Faith is collapsing everywhere. This is the point of no return in every past revolution. What comes next? Stages 5 and 6. Stage 5. A revolutionary movement gains mass support. This happens when one side, left or right, promises to clean out corruption and punish the elites. History says the movement will be extreme. Moderates always get pushed out. Stage 6. Government falls. Then chaos begins. If institutions fail, the collapse is fast. Months, not years. France, 5 years. Russia, 8 months. Cuba, 2 years. What replaces the old system is rarely better. Usually, it's worse. Much worse. If history teaches one thing, it's this. Revolutions are not romantic. They are not liberating. They are not peaceful. They are violent resets that destroy entire societies, and they always promise more than they deliver. The only way out is reform before collapse, because once Stage 5 begins, the rest is unstoppable.